Ice Rose, Hydrate, Vibrate, Gyrate, Gold Star. What else we got? Vibrate, Gyrate. Yep, that's one. All right, we did it. What else we got?
Oh,
Come on, we got.
Come on, y'all know this.
We got Come Vibe with Us. We got Change Your Vibe, Change Your Life.
I was just thinking that.
And you know what my favorite one is? Hold on a second.
Yeah, like that's what the ones. Yeah.
Go vibe yourself.
Go Vibe Yourself. So go Vibe Yourself. So this movie that we got invited into, it's called Biohack Yourself. And it's a compilation of Anthony Lally. He's produced a movie. He has a really interesting story. He was like, whatever, 300-400 pounds.
I actually met him, by the way, in Hollywood like 3 years ago. And when I saw that you were post, I was like, oh my gosh, I met Lally. And you're right. He was just this big, huge guy, but he was on, like, he laid on the vibe. And within,
Oh, he was on the vibe?
yeah, I put him, this was like when I like our first vibe ever, like back, what was her name? We were doing those mansion events with like the multimillionaire people,
I do remember that.
Jackie, Jessica, something like that, Jacqueline. But yeah, so he was actually there, but that's when he was still larger, and he hopped on the vibe and loved it then. And I had been following him, so I got to watch his transformation. Like now,
Wow.
so now I see him, he's like looking fit, looking good. So I've actually seen him go from big Lolly to fit Lolly.
So the story about Anthony Lally is he ended up he's a documentary producer, and he videoed himself, him and his wife, Teresa. They videoed themselves going through losing weight, having surgery to remove all the loose fat, and to actually competing and winning in a bodybuilding competition.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so I don't remember what the name of his documentary is, but if you just go on like Anthony Lally, it'll pop up. Anyhow, so he produced this movie, winning all kinds of film festivals. And they did an episode, they did a series 1 already, Biohack Yourself, and we're part of the series 2. And really they wanted to put together the world's leading thought leaders and technologies in the biohacking space. And one of our Vibe owners, Stephen Klein, the Super Connector, is their executive producer and invited me to be a part of it. And I was just going to go on. We've been spending a lot of money, and you know what? I was going to just be I was going to do like the subject expert thing. And I was just talking with Teresa. They weren't even really trying to sell me on it. And guys, I'm just going to tell you, this is like a good little rule of thumb for life. I'm going to share something very magical. Okay. This is another one. In fact, I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to write.
I believe we all love magic here. We're ready.
We're a magical bunch of people.
Guys, sometimes when you just don't know what to do, or you do know what to do, and whatever, I just say to myself this.
Fuck it.
And that's it. I decided, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just go for it. And
that's exactly what I was thinking. You gotta have a follow-up. Go for it.
Yeah. And then we just went for it. And so I'm really happy. Interestingly enough, the same things that they said to me when we got involved with the other movie, they told me with Beyond Physical Matter, when I met the producers, they said, we wanted you in that movie, and we didn't understand why you didn't want to be in the movie. And I told them it was 100% financial. I mean, it's all pay for play, and it's not even about the money. It's more like we're producing. Guys, it's expensive to make these things. We're constantly building. We're feeding, pay this one, and, all the magic you guys see. There is some finger snapping going on, but then there's some physical 3-dimensional things that's happening in the background that's really making it all happen, especially at this stage of the game that's automating everything. And but we're really committed. I think it just comes back to, and I'm sharing my story, but this is a story for all of you, is how does it pertain in your life? And what can you say fuck it to? And really, what's the mission? Because if I just wanted to make a vibrating sound bed and just kind of run my little lifestyle company and live down in Tulum, I wouldn't be doing any of this. I wouldn't be in the movie. I wouldn't be in Beyond Physical Matter. I wouldn't be doing really any of this. I wouldn't have to. I could, I could be selling my 100 vibes a year and having a nice little life down in Tulum. But that's never been the mission with me. Even before the Vibe, when I was in, when I was a doctor in chiropractic, when I was in Denver, it was all about how do we raise the vibration of the planet and harmonize humanity? That's a big mission. And people say, oh, that's so cliche, or oh, whatever people want to say. But what if you really did it? And, many years ago, I'd say over 10 years ago, when I started looking for investment, they said, what are you going for? And I said, it's the next pharmaceutical industry. And one of the investors, I went into a meeting, what they said? If you want to get funded, don't tell people that. And then I said to myself, why? Who wouldn't want to be a part of the next pharmaceutical industry? But it was early. And people couldn't wrap their minds around it. Now it's very clear that there is a new pharmaceutical industry. And it took something like a total collapse of the pharmaceutical industry and AKA COVID, in order to show how incompetent they really are.
Yeah.
That has expanded humanity where they've lost interest. The masses have now been like, okay, wow, like what else is out there? And they lost it. They had it and they lost it. And we've been saying this for, I've been personally saying this for over 20 years. And so, but it takes the moment in time for these things to happen. So these guys, Beyond Physical Matter people, they said, we wanted you to be in the movie. And then next thing you know, it just aligned and it happened. And in this particular one, Stephen Klein told the producers, the Lollies, about me. They wanted me in as well too. And then once again, it was kind of a financial thing. But then we went in and I did an amazing recording. It was like 6 hours. We did like a 6-hour shoot. So who knows what kind of content's going to come out of that. But now, what I'm learning about this day and age is there's a lot of experts out there. They're only experts on Instagram. Like, you don't need to be an expert. You just really need to get your content out there. I fortunately feel very confident in being an actual expert with 24 years of clinical experience and a book and a lifetime, and having the one and only Alice Newman as my mother, to bring me into this pace of where we are. But each and every one of us on this call here has their area of expertise, their 10,000 hours of something that they've done that has created, that makes them magical. And as we're talking about magic, we talk about mystical magic, and I'd love to share one of the magic people here who is a bona fide magician. This guy right here, the one and only Phil.
Hello.
And his one and only amazing partner, Rose.
Here we go, mates.
And I would like to just share,
Hello.
I want to share for the record, is he's all about doing these magic trips. But when it came down to it, I did the most amazing magic trick that you still don't think was real. And I wanted to share with you in that moment, Phil was trying to show me all these card tricks. And I'm like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. I was trying to handle something. And you know what happened? The wind came and blew away the cards. And I was like, that's my magic. And they were like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, I'm serious.
And you're really telling that story right now, and you are serious.
I've always been serious, because true magic.
I think more serial than serious.
And the reality of it is that all of us are magicians when we can bend physical matter. And wait till you see, and I know that my man Linwood right here knows exactly what I'm talking about, and that you can come in, and I call it 3-dimensional magic, where when you can align your mind and your body. This is my famous quote that I have from Albert Einstein. You can't help but align in that dimension. Because when you're in resonance with your mind and you're in resonance with your body, with your environment, you can't help but to get that thing. And it's what Einstein says is, it's not philosophy, it's physics. And there's shaman that I've worked with that literally are sitting there, I'm watching them, and they're manipulating weather right in front of my very eyes. And beyond being an amazing magician, Phil is, he's also an amazing guitarist and a musician. He's a magician and musician.
Thank you, sir.
And
That's a mouthful.
some of the most amazing magic I've ever seen has been from musicians at live events, where literally I've seen them change weather in front of a crowd that I've witnessed. And I've seen Pink Floyd do it. I've seen Michael Franti do it, just some people off the top of my head. And I'd love to share. Is it okay if I share another story, another Dr. Schwartz story? Give me a little yes or no in the chat.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's see. I want to get some confirmation before I share the story. Who wants to hear? I want to kind of give an example of this. Okay, yeah. Okay, great, Johnny. Good to see you. All right, here we go. Fabiola, what's up?
I just said hey to Johnny.
Hi, Johnny. Hello,
way-
Fabiola. Any other yeses?
Hi.
Any other yeses in there? My mom, she's a yes. So, yes. Okay, cool. So we in 2000 and I'm going to get the exact year. 12. I think it's 2012. I was part of an event called Shamanic Boom in Colorado. And they would do these one night community festivals based out of Fort Collins, like in the north of Denver, by a couple hours. And it was a small community of people that was all about music and holistic stuff. And it was really the beginning of me exploring my music with this guy, Daniel Donovan. They called him the techno shaman. And he was just like, come here and do whatever you want. And it was like a little lab of music and healing. And it was awesome. So anyhow, they did these one nights. One day they were like, hey, we're going to do our full weekend festival. It was the first weekend festival they ever did. And of course, it was like we get there on a Thursday to set up. It was dumping rain. It rained nonstop. Like from the moment we got there, it was just like puddles of mud. It was a mess. It was definitely not fun. But you know what? We made the best of it. We set up the whole festival. Thursday it rained. Friday it rained. And then I was doing a workshop on Saturday afternoon, I think at 1:00 in the main stage, which was like a dome, a geodesic dome. Who's familiar with the geodesic dome? Go ahead and just write in yes or no if you know about geodesic domes. If you don't know, just put a no and yes if you know them. Okay, yeah, we got a C. Good, okay. Subtle distinctions joining us. Okay, good. We got some yeses. So geodesic domes. So that's basically, it's all based off of Buckminster Fuller and the phi ratio. And it's a concentric, basically triangles that make a dome. And it's all based off of the same mathematics of our connective tissue. I go in there and I'm like, dude, nobody's going to come to my workshop. I mean, it's like a rain out, So I go in there to do my workshop. I remember there was 11 people in there. And I started doing a lecture, and I said, you know what? Let's do a meditation. And I played energy clearing, guys. I played body instrumental, and I took people through a guided meditation. I said, let's clear the energy within ourselves, and let's clear the energy of this festival. Let's all set that intention. And I started just playing the music through the speakers in the geodesic dome with 11 people all holding that same intention. And within 5 minutes,
Figure out the
within 5 minutes of playing that music, the rain stopped and the sun came out. And all you heard was everybody just start screaming, like cheering, like woo. And it was amazing. And I remember looking at the faces of some of these people, because I think like they actually felt like the sun like on their face, and everybody was just smiling because I think everybody knew what just happened. And then they were like, dude, like Dr. Schwartz, he's changing the weather. His music changed the weather. And it was nice for the rest of the weekend. And interestingly enough, I told that story many, many years later at another festival that I was at in California. I just met a girl and I was telling her, we're at like an elixir bar, and I was telling her that exact story. And it turns out that the guy that was making me the elixir drink, who I didn't recall, was one of those 11 people at that festival. And when I told the story, he overheard it. He goes, I want to just let you know that I was one of those 11 people, and that happened. Validated. And I want to share with you, though, that why the magic happened, it's not magic, it's science. And I want to share with you exactly the science. And this is the power of the vibe, everybody. First of all, the geodesic dome is a ball, and it's aligned with it's essentially the same mathematics as our cells. And the mathematics is exactly the same as our connective tissue, which is the same vibrational, the same frequencies that I use as the highway in all of my music. And so when you're using a three-dimensional structure and you're vibrating with the same matching harmonic sound, and everybody in there is thinking the same intention, when you couple your intentions with the structure, with the vibrational resonance, it's an interdimensional portal. And we literally created a new dimensional experience for everybody. And so that's the power of a portal. And each and every one of these vibes that you guys have is, we might not have a dome. I mean, you can add a dome to it and that'll amplify it. But we have the capabilities of creating that kind of experience. And that's why we're saying that these nodes that are placed around, the more nodes that we can have on this planet of these vibes, the more we're literally raising the vibration of the planet. And the lollies, when they were interviewing me, they didn't really understand my tech in the beginning until we had the conversation. And then Teresa, the wife, she goes, this is bigger than, this is what she said, this is bigger than biohacking. This is a global movement of how we can literally change the consciousness of the planet. That's what she said. And I said, exactly. And so you guys are all part of that experience. And so we can work on, because another one of my Schwartzisms is that we're physical manifestations of our own energetic expressions. And we're energy first and physical second. So you want to know how our energetic field is expressing itself? Look no further than your physical body. And this is why I love the journey with my mother, you know, because these are the questions I asked. She said to me, I want to share a story about my mother. She said, I remember this, and we've actually had this conversation, and you said the years don't match up, but whatever it is. She was saying, I remember I was like in undergrad, I think it was my first year chiropractic school, which was 1995. She was diagnosed with her first diagnosis with like an autoimmune disease. And she said, what can chiropractic do for me? Because, you know, my dad and my dad is a pharmacist. But my mom and my dad both were actually pretty holistic people. They were visionary futurists in New Jersey. And, you know,
That's the only problem that we were in Jersey.
Exactly. But you know what, though? It could have been worse. Like Uncle Bernie's not a futurist. Well, actually, he is in a different way. He was in a different way. My dad's brother. But anyhow, the thing about it is, she asked me that question. And as a first year chiropractic student, I said to myself, what can chiropractic do? Well, what does chiropractic do? It removes interference. I was a first year chiropractic student. So I said, what does chiropractic do for people? Well, it removes interference from the nervous system. Well, that should help my mom. And then I started doing research, and there was no therapies. There was no therapies for autoimmune diseases other than immunosuppressive drugs, things for pain, anti-inflammatories, max. That was your options. Steroids, immunosuppressive drugs, pain modulation. And I was like, dude, we got to be able to do better than that. And that was kind of the beginning journey, you know, watching my mom degenerate over while I was in school, and then meeting Dr. Cortini, who is a woman that I worked with in Denver when I first graduated, who my mom came and saw. And actually, that was the first time ever my mom started moving, swinging the pendulum in the other direction. And that's when I went to learn Jaffe Mahler technique. And that's when I learned about bioenergetic work in 2000. And that was the catalyst for me really learning this work, was through how could I support my mom. And now, many years later, as much as I can't work with her one-on-one, she's been able to use the V.I.B.E. on a daily basis, which is better than anything I could ever possibly do, because she gets 100% of the attention of the vibe 100% of the time, which is more attention than I can unfortunately give her at this time. So great. And it's like AI Schwartz.
Yeah.
AI Schwartz, which is pretty beautiful actually. Because every doctor is one of two things. It's either their ego, like, I need to treat you. But there's only so many hours in the day. There's only so many hours in the day that that doctor can work. There's so many hours in the day that he can be, or she can be, completely mentally focused to do the work. We have some people in our organization, some people very close to me now that requires me to do some work with them. And they called me last night, like at midnight. I'm like, my mind, I'm not like energetically present to be able to do that kind of work right now. I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed. So, you know, with this, you are able to deliver 100% of the medicine 100% of the time at 100% dosage with the vibe. And then really my job is just to make more protocols, which all of this work, all this running around, all these crazy things I've been doing for the last couple of years, and everybody's asking for more music. It's all to set up a portal. So Miss Emsley Von Det can also make some music. And I'd love to actually, why are you here right now?
Because I'm recording vocals on some music.
And what's the project you're working on?
It's actually animal music, animal totems. So the songs are hummingbird, bear, lion, monkey, and dolphin. And we are working on some wonderful music. Also,
What's your favorite? Which one of those?
dolphin.
Okay, can you do a dolphin song for us right now?
So I did the harmonies on it. So sure. It's hard for me to
You're on
sing
the spot.
Yeah,
Go
well,
for it.
because it's da-na-na-na, shaka shaka, fly above the sea. Da-na-na-na, shaka shaka, just for you and me. It's not. So I'm like, no. I could sing something better. I did more of the harmonies and not the melody of the actual song. So I'm like, I don't.
I just want to hear what your dolphin sounds like.
My dolphin.
Yeah, just do, like, what does a dolphin sound like?
Anyone here know how to make a dolphin noise?
No, you. I want to hear. What a monkey. What does a monkey sound like?
Ooh, ooh. I haven't been able to tone my voice yet, but I was thinking of the I want to be where the people are. I want to see them dancing, strolling along on those, what do we call those? Vibes. Vibing yourself, you don't get, walking yourself, you don't get too far. Legs are retired or jumping, dancing, strumming along on those streets. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of the VIBETRIBE world.
All right.
Wonderful.
Can't put me on the spot like that.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, you can.
And what will happen?
Yes, perfect.
Speaking of being put on the spot, we were talking about where I met this woman, Dr. Cortini. We worked for this guy, Dr. Albert, and that was the first time I ever did public speaking. And literally, I'd show up to listen to his talk, and you know what he would say? Oh, I have to go, but Dr. Schwartz is going to take over the talk and just leave me in a room full of people. That's how I learned to public speak. So yeah, being on the spot is how it goes.
It's great.
And not just that, but you have an amazing voice. So I was like listening to you. You'll do fine. And that's a little precursor to her and I are heading out to Las Vegas for a very special. So I'm here. We're literally after this call, we're getting we got the Vibe Mobile packed and we're driving out to Las Vegas, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And we're going to the Luxor Pyramid. It's the largest pyramid in the United States.
Is it really?
Oh, of course. Yeah, there's a bigger pyramid in the United States.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know, people are like, oh, it's Las Vegas, or oh, it's a casino. But you know what? Just like a geodesic dome is a geodesic dome, a pyramid is a pyramid is a pyramid. And the shapes of a pyramid activate the same things as pyramids. And they build it on the ley lines in Las Vegas. And it's there for a reason in that specific spot. And so the producers of this, they did something called Disclosure Fest in LA over the last, I don't know, good number of years. And it was a 1-day mass meditation that they would do in Los Angeles. This year, they're doing a 3-day consciousness convention takeover of the Luxor pyramid hotel and casino in Las Vegas, and we're doing a sonic alchemy journey. I'm doing a talk, and we're setting up the vibes, and we're calling in the 1111 Stargate activation, and we're activating the ley lines. Just the same as we can change weather, we can change the ripples of this planet. And Andre, who's the guy who's in charge of this event, that's his intention, is how do you raise the vibration of the planet? And, people, I'm not one to walk around with my little picket signs and protest and we want equality, we want freedom. That's not me. Okay. That's not me. My protest is over here, raising the vibration of the planet. My protest is to activate as many vibrational portals of harmonic resonance on this planet and allow the world to kind of come up on its own. And it's not the easiest mission in the world, but it's something I've been committed to. And it's interesting because it's actually really happening right now. And you guys are all contributing to it. And so I just want to thank you. Thank you for supporting the vision. Thank you for supporting all of it. And I'd love to open up this call for questions at this point. So just unmic yourself. Let's see. Do we have?
I got a question.
Yes.
When are
Wait,
you?
hold on one second. Who's
leaving?
subtle distinctions? Who's subtle distinctions?
Yeah, that's a great photo of the Integratron.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Avatar man,
You like that one?
the
That's a
one
cool
and
guy.
only.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
When are you heading up to Vegas?
In about 2 hours. You want to meet us there?
Well, I got another invite from Universe because he's tensor portals. He's doing
Okay.
that, and he's like, "Come on up there." And I remember we were in Los Angeles
Mhm.
for the vibes for that one too. And then Vanessa, Mirko's ex, she's also got a ticket flying there, and so she's hitting me up. So I'm just getting these pops, So I'm
Come out to
just like,
Vegas.
I know. So it's just a matter
What
of
else are you
like,
gonna do this weekend?
Well, I'm setting up a meeting, an appointment to go see my kids.
Oh, all right. You should just take
So
your kids and bring them to the portal.
I know I actually do dream of a time like that, but right now it's not at that feasibility yet. So
Well, what I would invite you to do is continue to use your technology. And I'd love to make a comment about this because I've been reflecting back over the last X number of years, because everybody's talking about manifesting. I'm like, okay, why am I manifesting this and not manifesting that? Like, it's a transition. And there's a lot of ups and downs. And I think you just got to keep with it, and believe in the fact that you are actually changing your vibration and that you are moving in that direction. And when we get wrapped up in our own minds, that kind of spiral us down. And trust me, that happens to me all the time. And I know it happens to you as well, the one and only.
yeah, especially because I mean my vibe is still currently changing the life of Shanna Banana over there too. And I hear what you're saying to that we are the vibe, right?
Just got to keep it going. So yeah, well, if you find your way out
Yeah,
there,
but there's a lot of great things happening. I'm just saying that it'd just be really awesome to have a spaceship. So I'm manifesting a spaceship.
You do have a spaceship.
The Navajo Indian or Native Americans talk about astral projection, and
Mhm.
I found that as a child, but in a book, but I didn't know it was actually real till recently. But yeah, so maybe we should start, because I think of that too. I'm like, I wish I just had a teleportation device, and I wish I could just zap myself somewhere and be somewhere. And yeah, it sounds like we just need to hop on the vibe, and we need to make a astral projection track next.
We have astral projection.
Yeah, there you
We do
go.
have astral.
We do.
Yeah, I mean, we already do. And I'm trying to think who our woman is that's usually on here that talks about in her practice, people are always going out of their bodies. Who's familiar with the Monroe Institute? Anybody, if you know the Monroe Institute, go.
I've heard of it. Yep.
Monroe Institute, Robert Monroe, who is many, many, many years deceased. Talk about a futuristic visionary that never got his due. You know what? He was a radio mogul in the 60s, and he was getting downloads about how to go out of body. You know about the Monroe Institute? So he started something called the Monroe Institute, where it's in West, where is it? Virginia? I think it's in Virginia. I've always wanted to go there, but he trains, not he, but he's way past into the other dimension at this point. But he started doing experiments where how he could use sound to take you out to go out of body. And now through our VIBE community, I'm getting invited to go to the Monroe Institute and to assist them with this technology to bring people out of their bodies, which makes perfect sense. So these are interdimensional portals. It's not just some gimmick. It's, if you study the physics of what it takes to disorganize your three-dimensional spacesuit and then reorganize into a new dimensional reality of your choosing, it's through your intention and sound, light, frequency, and vibration. And this is what I talk about in my book, Primal Resonance, Discover the Secrets to Health, Vitality, and Optimal Human Performance. We talk about the genie's lamp phenomenon, which is there's three components: the genie, the lamp, and you got to rub the lamp. What's the genie? Your intention. What's the lamp? Yeah, thank you. You can. I'm just trying to
the
get
genie, the lamp, and the rubber is what you're saying.
You got
Y'all are ready for a ride because we're about to go vibe up this portal. Woo!
Exactly. So you got the genie, which is your intention. You got the lamp, which is your body. But if you look at the story, the fairy tale, the genie has been hanging out in the lamp for eons in the desert, not until the poor soul in the desert comes across this lamp. And what does he do? He rubs the lamp and it activates the wishes. So that's the metaphor. How do you activate your three wishes? You got to rub the lamp coupled with your intentions. What do you want? So you can do macro rubbing, dancing and massaging and yoga. Awesome. Fantastic. And yes, those are all. Or you can do micro rubbing at the connective tissue level coupled with your intentions, and AKA the vibe. And then you got to trust. I would love to share something else with you. I just got done recording my audiobook. It was supposed to be live. We just found out that there was some kind of recording issue, so we're working on that on the back end. But for those of you who don't know, I was having some of my own mental issues. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of energy I'm holding space for with this business and this company, and just like, who am I? Right. Steve, Michael Page, your favorite track. Who am I? Who can I be? What am I trying? These are all big questions, and everybody's calling and wanting this, that, the other thing. And I see all the holes. I mean, it's challenging, and, and I said this to Phil, and we had a conversation about it. I told him that reading that audiobook, Fabiola, I'll be with you in just a minute. Your hand is raised. Thank you for raising your hand. I said, reading that audiobook saved my life. And when he picked me up in Dallas, he's like, hey, really? And listen, just for the record, Mom, I'm on the phone. Don't worry. I've never really felt that that's the way out to end it. But I could end one dimensional reality and I can be reborn in another. And I got to tell you, though, I was not feeling good. And I was reading my words that came out of my mouth in 2014 that wrote that book. As I was reading it to myself, I heard myself, I felt myself in my connective tissue say things to me that I needed to hear in that moment. And it changed my life. It saved my life. And my book mentor and my publisher, Keith Leon, he told me a story. He said, when you write a book, be ready to have everything you're writing about in your book come up in your life to completely challenge you, because it's the ultimate vision board. And he told me a funny story about him and his wife. They've been married for many decades, and they're so cute. They love each other so deeply. He said that they wrote a book together on long-term relationships, and they almost got divorced during the book, just because it brought up all this stuff. And that's the cute metaphor. Is I sat there, I was like, wow, like Schwartz it really encouraged me my book encouraged, my words from 2014, I felt myself being who I was in 2014, writing that book almost 10 years later. And I thought that was a really amazing experience. So I invite you guys to read that audiobook once it comes out, or listen to the audiobook, or read my book, and allow that same inspiration to occur to you. But, you know, Michael Page, you know, we've been friends for a long time, and I know your journey, and I just invite you to keep going.
Thanks, bro.
Keep going, because you're awesome.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, I've shared
On
great
and on.
stories.
I'm gonna use your tag. Fuck it. Let's go.
Okay, let's see.
Appreciate you, bro.
Fabiola, what's your question? Unmute yourself, please.
Yes. Actually, it's not a question. I just wanted to share because I don't know if it is an out-of-body experience, but when we came out from the Dallas show, you guys know what happened to me. Like my apartment got, you know, flooded with water and I couldn't do anything and all that. So I decided to go into the vibe, and I literally, what I did is like I command and said, show me what I need to see. Like I literally said it. And it literally took me to like inside of my body and seeing my cells, how they were vibrating while the music and the vibration was happening at the same time. So I don't know if you can consider that like an outer spirit body, but I was literally inside of my body, seeing everything, like how they were moving, how they were all synchronizing with the music at the same time. And how they eventually seeing this, it started giving me messages of how do I need it, like, because we're going to have an event next week on Tijuana, by the way, where Dr. Steven.
Go ahead and plug it.
Where he's going to be rewarded for an event, you know, introducing the vibes, obviously, and he's going to be giving a speech in front of between 20 to 25 nonprofits in Tijuana, guys. Okay, so we're planting the seed over there already, and it was amazing because it literally showed me like pictures of how this event needed to be done. And out of, you know, finishing doing the vibe, I called the girl that is helping me to build the event, and she's like, "Oh no, that's exactly what we're doing. We were not able to talk before, but this is what's happening. Like we're gonna be in a government place. You know, you're gonna meet so many people that are involved in the government in Mexico." And I was like, "Oh, but I saw this on the vibe." So I agree with what you said, Dr. Steven. It could be one of the portals. And like you said about the lamp,
yeah.
In my situation, I would say like ask, because that would be rubbing the lamp. It's like ask. And yeah. I did it. I'm like, show me what I need to see. It's like, show me, not what I want, but what I need to see. And that took me to that experience. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that up. First of all, it's funny because I just said, Fabiola, I call her, she's my Latina ninja. She's my Latina vibe ninja. And I'm happy to have her on part of our team. And could you do me a favor? Could you post my my AI Spanish? Can you post that in the group?
I could post it like the small version of it.
Okay, or just do the whole thing, whatever. But we're living in amazing times, and this is stepping into my future. But I wanted to let you know that there's another way of using this technology. And if you work closer with me when you're going on the vibe, the best way to move energy is through asking questions. Asking questions moves energy. Making statements grounds energy. So, Mom, as you're saying there, you know, go in and ask, you know, what do I need to know right now? What track is best for me right now? Okay, I don't think I quite finished. I got a little sidetracked. I got a little ADD on my story about my book, but I wanted to finish up the part that came about that was after reading my book and getting really inspired. My favorite chapter in that book is my last chapter on following your intuition. And yeah, I'm a kinesiologist. I'm a muscle tester. I've been muscle testing since 2000 every day. And, you know, in clinical practice, it's one thing, but then it's another thing when you're not in clinical practice. And after reading that book, I said to myself, I'm going to declare to my intuition that I want to have a better relationship with my intuition. I want to have the best connection to my intuition. And so I'm making a declaration that every time I do a muscle test, whatever information that I get as a yes or no is correct.
Yes.
I'm not going to override my yes or no, even if my mind is saying otherwise. That's how you establish a higher expression. That's how you go to the gym and work out your intuition. Because think about it. And my family and I, listen, this is actually a big thing for my family. Because, I mean, you guys know me as Dr. Schwartz, but I'm in my family circles. I'm little Stevie Schwartz. I'm the little brother to two older sisters. And every time I say something, they're like, that's not true. That's not true. Nobody listens to me. So this is the expression of me, like, world, please listen to little Stevie Schwartz crying out to be heard. But really, through that expression, through my intuition, it's the same thing. It's if your intuition says do this, and then your conscious mind says, oh no, I'm going to do that. Your intuition just throws your hands up. Then why even bother asking me? Forget it. I'm going to be in the corner, a little like abused little child, not getting any attention. So if you really want to cultivate an amazing relationship with your intuition, which is you, not me, it's mine, but it's also Emsley's, it's my mom's, it's Fabiola's, it's all of you, Johnny's, it's all of you guys.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It is.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Tell me.
Yeah, it was.
See, this is what I grew up with, guys. This is my fire thing.
Because of you, I learned neurotransmitter and NMT for years, and it came with, with what you were just talking about, and I have never stopped, ever, and you know that, and this is Mom talking now, and and I have something over here just to go into this about last Sunday. When Jacob, my grandson, was in a tournament. Now, talking about what you do, it is so amazing because when I got home, and it was like 1,000 people there, and everybody was so friendly and so nice, and no matter how old you were, no matter what was going on, and I'm looking around, I'm saying, oh my God, how can all of these people who are like this, close to it, and how can they be so good? And I got home and Jack said to me, it wasn't worth it. And I said, wait a minute. I said, do you realize how much, what a marvelous, magical experience we got? You go outside of there and the world is crazy. Well, we were inside. Everyone was laughing and having a wonderful talking to everyone. And then I wrote to Jacob, because he lost.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yes.
That was his first match?
Huh?
That was his first match?
Both matches. And the point was that I wrote what you're talking about right now. I said the same thing to Jacob about his, so I mean, I follow you. You don't have to ever follow me.
Well, I do follow you because you're my mom. And we actually had this conversation, just to let you guys know, you want to know, like, I'm the son, okay?
And I'm the
so, like, where did I come from? I came from my mom and my dad. So, like, the lineage comes before me. And I would love to state for the record, remember, we're physical manifestations of our own energetic expressions. We have a lot of magical people in my family. We also have a lot of people that are magical. Every person in my family and lineage is very magical. However, we also suffer from transgenerational traumas that that has put cellular memory programming that doesn't allow us to step into the highest expression of ourselves. And that is where my mother was accepted. My mom was accepted to Juilliard. She's an amazing soprano singer. She was like recruited to be an actress in Hollywood.
Oh, moms.
Yeah, yeah, but yet she ended up becoming.
I've passed that along to Steve.
Exactly, but this is my point. Like, my grandfather was recruited by the Yankees to be a pitcher, and my great-great-grandfather was like, you need to go to school, and he became an engineer and like literally wired the electrical system of most of North Jersey back in the day. My grandmother is my grandmother is, my mom's mom is an incredible, like, gifted artist, like painter. Her art is like world renowned. And now my niece, my sister's child, is like the reincarnation of Salvador Dali. And that is not an exaggeration. Like,
Yeah.
she's the most amazing artist. I mean, it's mind blowing. And she's like in college now for a full scholarship for art, as she should. And my nephew, Jacob, who she's talking about, is his whole goal is to be like the best wrestler he can be. And he just transferred to a new school. And I guess he lost his first 2 matches. I didn't know that. So, but these are life, we can't always win everything all the time, but it's how do you rebound? And everybody that's on this call, I'm just asking, is that's okay, because it's how you go through it. Like, he lost, and I'll give him a call. So he lost. So is he going to lose again, or is he going to get back up on that horse and then win? And that's the key factor. I love it. As I would study sports, I used to be big time into sports, and they used to say baseball players all have amnesia. That's what they would say. Baseball players all have amnesia. Do you know what that means?
Mhm.
They forget.
Forget the loss.
They have
Keep
to
going.
forget.
Keep swinging.
In baseball, the best batters of all time, they strike out 7 out of 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
The best. So you fail 70% of the time. And these are the best baseball players in the world. So they need to get over the fact that they struck out, or that they got thrown out at a base, or that they didn't come up with that big clutch hit. If their ego is so fragile that they can't get past that, they're gonna lose out. They're not going to perform at the highest level. That is a metaphor for life. We all know the story about Rocky, Rocky Balboa, and about and Sylvester Stallone. Dude, he's like the worst actor of all time, by the way. I mean, like, he can barely speak and all this stuff, but whatever, when Rocky came out 30, 40 years ago, he shopped that movie around to 100 studios around whatever Hollywood, and nobody accepted except for one, and it's the biggest blockbuster of all time. And he hasn't ever changed it. It was Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5. And then it's like Apollo 1, Apollo 2, Apollo 3. And then it was like, he hasn't changed the storyline for like 50 years. It's exactly the same story. So let's see.
That's epic, bro.
Okay, yes. Rose, what's your question?
Oh, hey, buddy.
Or Phil?
It's actually Phil. I don't think I look too much like Rose, but hey, it's me. And I want to comment on so many things that you were saying today, just as a synopsis for myself. And the last thing is what I'm going to start with. The falling down countless times is all of our lives if we really take a look at it. And you're right. It's like, do I pick myself up and dust myself off and go, oh shit, that happened, and keep going and keep searching? Or do I go, oh damn, that happened again? And that is a choice. And I searched for what I'm doing with you all my life, brother. And I've told you that when we hung out one-on-one. And I'm telling you that to be here now because of that, because of all the times that I fell down and scraped my knee or broke my toe, that I said, screw it, I'm going to heal. I'm going to keep looking. And this is where I ended up. And that's a wonderful thing. The next thing I wanted to mention was your book. And I cannot stress enough that, I see there's 10 people on this call. I want to say this to the whole world. That book, and I got to say this, Stephen, because it's funny. The first time I said this to you, I said, dude, I don't mean to kiss your ass. And right away he said, go ahead, kiss my ass. Go ahead, kiss. Yeah.
I'll take it when I can get it. I'll take it when I can get it.
Yeah. And that's the thing is call it ass kissing, but it's truth to me. That book, I just finished it this morning. And you can ask Rose. You talked about the intuition chapter, and I sat down and talked with her about that chapter this morning, just this morning. And it's mind-blowing to me because everything in that book takes things that I've read for years and puts them in the best, easiest, distinct to understand way that I've ever read. And I mean that with all my heart, not just because I'm part of your community, Stephen. That's an amazing book. And anybody that doesn't have it needs to get it. And once it comes out on Audible, you need to freaking listen to it. And trust me, when I get it, you're very welcome. And when I get a hold of that on Audible, trust me, I'm going to listen to it over and over.
Well, and I got a little secret for you with the book. Once we get it out on Audible, we're going to take the audio and we're going to Sonic-Ceuticalize it and include it so you can. It's going to be mixed into the vibe.
That's so amazing.
It's going to have like frequencies behind it, and we're going to have it in there, so it's going to be a Sonic-Ceuticalized book, so you can really vibrate it into your connective tissue.
Awesome. Because I love what you talk about with transformation, you know, too, because like you said, that's what transformation, that track, those 2 tracks, I guess, are about, is rubbing the genie's lamp. And I told you, I've been doing that, you know, the 28-day concept. I've been doing it every day for easily up to that now. And it's changed me. I mean, I did a show with you. You got me coming out to do another one in Vegas in December. Thank you. You know, and that's the thing is everything that I've ever wanted. And darn it, I'm 63. I just turned 63 November 4th. And it's like, you're never too old to live your dreams. It's just a fact. And, you know, I'm part of this community is where it's at. So the last thing I want to say is this. You brought up something that I wanted to address. And I think it's, you know, I was going to talk to you about this one-on-one, but I think it's great here with what you said today. I see it on your wrist. You have that thing that says believe. And that's the first thing on the board behind me. There you go. We have a board right behind us. You see that chalkboard. And the first thing I wrote on that board, oh, cool. First thing I wrote on that board was believe. The very first thing when we moved in here. And here's the thing about that is, you know, everybody in this community that's on this call right now obviously does, or else we wouldn't be here. And the frustrating thing is, and you know this, and I don't mean this in a negative way, that we are all head versus spirit. We're all mind versus spirit. Every single one of us. You just said the same thing about yourself. And the thing is I read Sylvia Brown, which I'm sure you know who she is. She said in a book one time something that really stuck with me, Stephen. And what she said was, okay, it may play games with your brain, but you got to ask yourself if it resonates with your soul. And the thing about that is that, you know, helping others to cross that bridge, you know, that's what we're doing. And that's one of the things being in this office and now going out and vibing a bunch of people ourselves, you know, that I see that left and right. I mean, we were in a metaphysical store the other day, vibing people, but still the fact that those people are coming to that store, believe in that stuff. You sit down and you tell them what the vibe does, and you say, this is science. Here, let me show you some HRV testing in a book.
Yeah.
You know, let me show you these things. Dude, no matter how much their soul wants to believe it, the brain gets in the way. And so it's difficult sometimes to help people cross that bridge, you know. But the beautiful thing is COVID happened. Look how many people, after they bought into the BS and the brainwashing, are going, that's a bunch of bullshit.
Exactly.
Wow. Now they're saying those jabs did hurt people and kill people. Oh, maybe we ought to pay attention to the spiritual side. Maybe we ought to pay attention to the holistic side.
It's not spiritual side. It's not spiritual. It's vitalistic. It's real.
It's what?
It's so there's something I want to take you on this. Thank you for bringing that up, Phil.
Yes.
If you study the history of humanity, of the physical world that we're working with, this mechanistic pharmaceutical part of humanity, this is new. But if we go back to the indigenous, the Mayans, the Hawaiians, the Hindu, you know, the Swamis, all the stuff that goes, all the core original ancient civilizations of this planet, they all followed the laws of nature for healing.
Yes, but what I'm talking about is today.
Hold on.
That's the thing.
Let me finish.
Yes, sir.
So the thing about it is the laws of nature were here long before humans were here.
I agree.
And so because humanity doesn't understand the laws of nature, is of no consequence to the laws of nature. So yes, we might not have the peer-reviewed journals, we might not have all these different things, but really our lack of understanding is not a lack of, is the onus is on humanity.
Yes.
For our ignorance, for our lack of evolution understanding of what the, so I'm gonna swear again, I don't really give a shit. Okay, like What I care about is we're getting results, and you want me to validate stuff, we'll validate stuff, because everything I've ever tested, it always shows out super awesome. And you know what?
Yeah.
There's always going to complain. In my practice, we're seeing a reverse in chronic illness, and there's always somebody complaining about something. And you know what? Cool. Then stay sick. And I would like to share with you another little thing that's going on right now. I took on a coach. I took on a personal coach that's helping me go to the next level. And I'm finding in my body my own resistance working with my coach, even though I paid this coach. I paid this coach a good amount of money. I'm finding that I'm being aggressive and aggravated towards the coach, even though I hired him to help me go to the next level. And I was like, wow, like, this is amazing. Like, I'm being like, that's on me. Like, that's my cellular memory that I'm onto. So, and I'm just breathing through it and breaking through those barriers. So all you guys can do is hold space. And when Amy said the same thing, she's like, oh my God, my biggest paying customer just totally like, she had all these things wrong with her and I did all these things and like, great. It has nothing to do with you. So the first rule of thumb is you guys need to let go of your attachment to your customer's outcome. All you need to do is hold space. And you really, if you listen to me, you're not hearing me make any claims at all.
Right.
Interdimensional portals. Hey, all the tracks, they do this and this and this. But at the end of the day, what vibrational resonance do you want to align yourself with right now?
Yeah.
And let them choose and then drop them in. And what's going to happen? We shall see. That's why I never really like talking about like my personal experience with ayahuasca, because it doesn't matter about my experience. Like, I don't want to shape your experience with ayahuasca. Like, it's going to be totally different than mine. And that's the thing. So my vibe experience is totally different than Emsley's. So it doesn't really matter. If I want to showboat about all these things, yeah, but it doesn't really matter because this is a self-empowerment tool. One question I want to ask you guys, just in here before we sign off, is there's lots of different ways of going through these Thursday calls. I can be very clinical and give protocols and talk about music. And then there's other ones where we can be more open and talk about, other things that come up. The way that we formatted today's call was this. Did you guys get benefit out of this? Give me a yes or no. I just want to get some feedback on, because this is your time. And I don't want to sit up here and just like talk. I want to deliver what you guys are really wanting. And I really respect if there's anybody on this call that is kind of like, dude, this is not what I want. Johnny or Jocelyn, you guys always sit there and, are very quiet. Was it Barbara that was this on? She keeps popping in and out. Shannon. Yeah, I'd love to talk with her. If you guys, want something more focused, please ask questions. Please give me that feedback, and I'll definitely make sure to shape these calls to what you guys really want. Because this is your, this is your call.
I like all your banter, and I like the things that you and Phil bounce back and forth, and Heather and I end up quoting Phil quite a bit, honestly, or saying Dr. VIBE-isms, just to remind ourselves to get out of the clinical headspace. And I mean, I think, I'm an attorney, and Heather's a chiropractor. She hired me, and my official title here is her Director of Growth and Chaos.
Oh,
so literally, it's literally on my business card. I don't know if you can see it.
Well, you can't have growth without chaos.
Exactly. And you can't have creativity without chaos as well. So
you're the CEO. You're the chief chaos officer.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. It's on my card. So you guys remind me to get out of that legal headspace and get into the metaphysical headspace with you all. And I love it. Absolutely love it.
Thank you. Also, I want to let you know that when I'm really thinking a lot about this company, I say, what is Bioharmonic Technologies? A lot of people say, oh, it's a vibrating sound bed company. No, Bioharmonic Technologies is a human optimization company. And one of our modalities is the vibe, because it's an interdimensional portal. But there's other things, like Emsley's been really pushing me for years to do a coaching program. And I'm a little resistant to work with people just because honestly, like, it's a little, I don't like structure. I really don't like having schedules and stuff like that. So I have my Thursday call, I have a couple calls throughout the week, but I'm open to it as long as it can get it's going to happen. It's evolving. But we're actually going to be launching an educational program in 2024 that I'm very inspired about. We have an online course. It's going to be basic. We already have the online course. We've been trying to figure out what to do with it and how to use it. And it's probably going to be the way, and actually I got inspired. I am adopting this. That's the word. I'm adopting this because we just signed on with a new partner called the BioWell. And it's a digital biofield testing device out of Russia. Konstantin Korsakov. Hey, if you guys ever have any problems sleeping, read any of his books. And if you guys can get,
I do. Wait. I always have problems sleeping.
oh yeah, please read his.
What is
his
it?
book is mind blowing. And it's super intense. It's like,
Can you say the book again?
I don't know the name of the book. I
Or
have
who the guy is?
Konstantin Korsakov. I don't even know how to spell Korsakov, but that's his name. If you put in GDV, gas discharge visualization, his name will come up. But basically, we've been testing his stuff for many, many years, and now I just bought one of his systems, and I just got it actually. I haven't even plugged it in yet, but we're going to be testing it in Las Vegas. And but anyhow, what they do is you buy the machine, and then they offer like a $1,200 certification training, and 6 of the hours is all like online stuff, and then you get 3 2-hour trainings with Nima, who is basically the U.S. He's the guy in the U.S. And so you do 3 hours with him, and then you're certified. We're probably going to put something like that together with Bioharmonic Technologies, and it's probably going to be like $1,200, and then you guys get certified. And so we're going to be working on that in 2024. So just stay tuned. So then everybody's going to be on the same page, and I'm going to take his training, so we know how to do.
I'll get certified with you. This page will get on that page.
Cool. And honestly, what I'm looking for is I want to train trainers, and then you guys can do the training. So I don't want to do three 2-hour calls to people, but I'd love to train you guys that want to step into those roles, that want to train other vibers. So yeah, that's evolving. That's evolving. I got lots of projects that I'm working on, and then I'll come in and also in 2024, I have my eyes set on doing a Vibe Fest. We've been talking about this for a long time, but we're working on that. Dates. No idea.
I'm thinking Earth Day, Earth Day in Arkansas, Hot Springs, Arkansas, with all the crystals and the things.
To be continued. It's in the ethers.
You said I was quiet, so now I have to run my mouth a lot. So,
and I didn't know I didn't know you were a lawyer. I thought you were a chiropractor.
No, Heather's a chiropractor.
Okay.
We've been friends for about 12 years, and she literally saved my life. And I said, "How can I make the world see you?" And this is where I ended up. So.
That was a very clear intention, and what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. So we are a little bit different here. We did our first event last week in the little tiny area of Mid-Ohio Valley. It was the Holistic Health and Psychic Fair. It was a lot of fun. Awesome. We raised vibrations for about 35 people, which was pretty great considering there was, maybe about 100 people that came through. So we were happy with that. Yeah. So, and they came from all different cities. Some of them came from like 3-4 hours away. So that was really great. And it made us very excited for the future of the Vibe here. So we kind of run, we sell packages, and we, book people into an adjustment, and then they get to the Vibe or a massage and the Vibe, that kind of thing. We've been looking at memberships, because our next step is to get another Vibe, which is another question. How soon can we get a Vibe? But then, does anybody else operate like that? Does anybody else do a membership to their spa? Like Phil and Rose, how do you operate? Maybe we can talk offline about it. But
yes, we do that for sure.
Memberships are great. Memberships are great. Another thing we're going to be working on is pulling together more of this like kind of turnkey bioharmonic technology package. Like if you guys want to use the diagnostics, you can buy a Vibe with the diagnostics. If you want to do the pure wave patches, do that. So we're putting together all these like things together that can be turnkey. So we're working on all these things into 2024. We're not ready to release those things yet, but these are.
You need to get busy.
What?
You're not doing it fast enough. Come on, let's get busy.
Thank you. This is why I have my nervous breakdowns all the time. But I'm thankful for my team and my community. And yes, so as it goes, packages, memberships, all these things. I think they're the way to go. I think even from a legal perspective, it's easy because the place that we shot the movie, they have a beautiful sign, and right on the front door it says members only. And then they come in and they just buy a membership into, because he's got so many things. I mean, this guy's got like, and if he did it a la carte, it like nobody's going to pay for all that stuff. I mean, it's too much. So, but yeah, here's your $10,000, whatever. I don't know what the number is, you know, yearly membership or whatever it's going to be, something. I have no idea. Whatever you did, but Patricia, oh, Sue, is Sue still on the call? Yeah. So I told Patricia she needs to raise her prices to at least $50 a session. And if you guys are having a hard time doing it, then I told her that she needs to lay on the vibe every day and listen to Abundance.
Yeah, we even here in our tiny little area, it's 20 minutes for $50.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, we're gonna wind down this call here because we have to get in the car and go to Vegas. Got anything you want to finish with, Miss the Siren is Serious, Emsley Von Det?
Not much, really. Just thank you all for being here. I'm super excited. I know you're gonna be doing the Sound Alchemy journey on the 10th, and you shared with me how the full moon the day before is stronger. So I love that the day before the 11/11 portal, we are doing a Sonic Alchemy journey, which I think we're doing it with the 13th skull, like a crystal skull or something. I've been looking into what we've got going on. And either way, I was going to say, if anyone at home would like to tune in.
Yeah, we should do a live stream.
We should do a live stream. You're going to be performing at 6 to 7.
Pacific time.
Yep, Pacific time tomorrow. So write this down.
We'll put it in the chat.
We'll put it out there. I did post it in the it's posted in our VIBETRIBE community group. We'll go live for you guys. And the intention is to, like Stephen was talking about with an interdimensional portal, just holding our intentions for the new earth and raising the vibration of the planet and harmonizing humanity. And
activating the ley lines.
Thank you all for joining us in our mission.
See you guys soon. And everybody, go vibe yourself. Okay.